Welcome to the bench, friends. This is Joe, Blue Oval Racing, HO Scale, Custom, and Performance. Today, we're going to take a Viper chassis that I nicknamed Scrap Build, Scrappy, which I constructed this chassis with used and lightly used parts, and the 6 ohm armature that was in this chassis through a wire, literally through the wire. The wire let loose from the commutator, and we installed a 2.4 hot high-speed armature from Viper Racing, which we purchased from HC Slot Cars, Hardin Creek Slot Cars. And we did this to only prove a point that if you have a stock box, store-bought, whatever you want to call it, track, in my case AFX, and you do not have the correct power source, or you're not hardwired in also to distribute an even power source throughout the track, a high performance armature such as the one I installed in this chassis, you're going to have troubles with it. And just after a few laps, you will start to smell the armature getting toasty. So we're going to pull this armature out and put a factory lightly used AFX Tomy Super G Plus armature in it to this Viper chassis. Let's go ahead and get on with it. The rear end is pinned. You need to pull these pins out some. Axle's out. Just spread this front axle a little bit. Pull the hubs off so it wiggles and jiggles. It's easier to spread the chassis to pull the motor out. Traction magnet clip. Traction magnets. If you don't have a chassis spreading tool, you need to get one. I recommend. Install the tool. Fingers on the bottom. Press down on the tool lightly. Push up with the fingers from the bottom. And your itty bitty motor is out. Another tool you're going to need, or you're going to need to make one, is an end bell spreading tool. I should have pulled those magnets off first. Remove the 10 thousandths shim off the front, pinion gear and bushing, and there's our 2.4 hot high-speed armature going bye-byes until I hardwire my track in correctly. And then we will reinstall this in a chassis, a Viper chassis. Lightly used. This thing does not focus for nothing. Almost had it. Lightly used 6 ohm armature from a Super G Plus. bushing. I mean spacer in the front. Bushing on the back. Pinion gear. Let's check the end bell out. Just to make sure we're good. Make sure the brushes are all right. The tension on the tension arms that hold the brushes are fine. Let's get the tool back in to spread the brushes, the brush arms. There's these little nubs at the top on each side. They go up. They click into here on the chassis. A little nub right here, right here. Go up. Like that. Now hopefully your motor magnets are marked with either a dot or a line that goes to the passenger side for US cars, that is. Naturally, if you're in Europe, you'd be on the opposite. Well, I guess sort of. Something like that. I don't even know why I threw that European deal in there. I guess because the steering wheel's on the opposite side. So if you're ever in Europe building this, that dot would be on the driver's side. But here in the US, the magnet with the dot is on the passenger side. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Set this in here. Like so. Look what I did. Your brush hangers. There we go. And these brush hangers, you're going to need to get in there with some small tool and finagle with them just a little bit, like so, on each side. While you're pushing down, and the motor clicks right in. Your bushing is in the groove in the back. Push our wheels back on where they need to be. Might as well test the motor. A little drink of dinosaur juice, synthetic, naturally. I gotta come up with a different camera deal. I'm doing these videos because my hands get in the way. I don't know what setup these other guys have, like Mark's Lock Car Garage. When they do close-ups, let's go ahead and get our traction magnets in high downforce. Now, I'm sure you're already aware of this. The part on the traction magnet that touches the rail on the track, that aims down at the rail on the track, sticks to the magnet for high downforce. When you put it in high downforce, this magnet, traction magnet, is working with the motor magnet. It's giving you that pull from the traction magnet to want to stick to the track. When you go on low downforce, the traction magnet and motor magnet are fighting each other, which causes the traction magnet to be weaker. If that makes any sense. That's why you have high downforce, low downforce. Basically, the magnets are working together in high downforce. Low downforce, they're fighting against each other. Where the traction magnets will not be as strong, say. That's the only example I can give you. Our clip to hold our traction magnets in. Pins back in to lock in the rear axle. And there we have it. Scrap build. This battery's really going dead. All right, so there you have it. Scrappy now has a 6-ohm armature back installed. And that is it. And yes, I'm still using the same crappy battery that is putting out roughly 7.5 volts. How do I know this? I tested it. After the last video, when I said it had 7.5, it actually had 7.89. So if it's not making the car sound up to par, I need a new battery. There you have it. The scrap build is complete. We will run scrap build in the next video. By the way, scrap build has Viper Pro 4 motor magnets and Viper Pro 10 traction magnets. And there you have it, folks. That's it for this video. Let's see what the downforce is on Scrappy. on the meter. A reference. Yeah, Scrappy's pretty good. Let's see what we're getting with Scrappy. Hopefully, well, we'll better set it down. It moves. We're getting roughly, well, let's try that again. That was a very good number. Scrappy is roughly 2960 is what we're getting on the trusty scale. We'll say reverse scale, where it's testing a magnet strength to give you a rough idea. Scrappy is pulling 2960 set on grams. Not bad. Next video, we're going to take Tyco. This chassis nickname is Top Gun. We're going to take Top Gun apart, clean it up, we'll give us some new brushes. I notice I need to re-shim the back rear end. May need to put new rear pinion and axle gear on Top Gun. Till next time.